If everybody will turn your mics on, that way we won't have to turn them on and off. Sure. Just talk. Ready?
3 days before.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Capital Projects Committee meeting. I notice that we have a quorum, so we will proceed. Sarah, I just want to make sure this notice was noticed properly, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we have an agenda. Are there any additions that you would like to make? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Alderman Sassy.
I would like to add to other items, just an update on the facilities assessment and impact fees. We discussed them with our last capital project, so I just wanted to find out where we're at with those,
Okay.
if we could.
Impact fees and the facility.
Facilities assessment.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion to amend. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay, we have a second. Any questions? So we're voting now on the amendment to the agenda to add impact fee, a verbal discussion on impact fees and facility assessment. So all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Any other amendments or changes to the amendment or to the agenda? If not, we have an amended agenda. I'll entertain a motion to accept the amended agenda.
So moved.
So,
second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And oppose, it passes unanimously. Thank you. Before we go any further, I forgot, let's introduce, each of the board members introduce themselves so people watching at home while they're eating popcorn and drinking RC colas can know who's up here. So Alderman Goodwin, would you please, and what the committee you represent.
Terry Goodwin, Alderman, Ward 4, Public Safety Chair.
Bob Garza, Ward 3, General Committee.
And I'm Eddie Robertson, Ward 6.
And I'm Mark Skidmore, Alderman and or Vice Mayor / Alderman, Ward 1.
Jeff Sassy, Finance Chair.
Very good. Okay, next matter up is minutes. Have you had a chance to review those minutes? And if this is for the January 13th meeting, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved. I have a second. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the January 13 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Next is citizen comments. Sarah, do we have anyone from the public that wishes to address?
No, there's no one signed up.
Okay, very good. Then we'll move right on into the action items. We have 3 of those. And Sarah, you'll be leading our discussion, so the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Well, welcome, everyone. Our Capital Projects Committee meeting for tonight, August 11th. This is our agenda that has been noticed and published. So jumping right in, we have our LED conversion project. This is something that the city's been talking about for probably 5 years or so, off and on. And we have budgeted for this project this fiscal year for the city to fund completely. So the approximate cost for that is roughly $2.3 million for our public streetlights. There is also an additional $600,000 that's budgeted for some of the park's LEDs, but I did not include that in this particular portion of the presentation. Our project lead for this project will be Todd Bond, our project manager, who is present with us tonight. Current status, we are initiating, so we're discussing now the plan and establishing a contract with someone to perform that work. This is completely a city project, so there is no grant funding associated with this. If we sign contracts in the next month or so, we would expect to break ground in January and get this started. And then the estimated completion would be September of 2026. So our action needed tonight, we're looking for a motion to proceed, to approve and to proceed with contracting.
Okay, questions on the LED conversion? I have some questions. What kind of savings will our operating budget see as a result of LED conversions?
Okay, so the operating budget for year one is estimated at $160,000. And then there's an estimated 3% increase on that because power is estimated a 3% increase annually. So within 20 years, it would be up to approximately $280,000 per year saved.
But the first year it's fully operational is how much?
160,000.
160?
Yes.
Okay. And how many lights are included in this?
This is just for the NES service area, and it's just over, I want to say 2,200 streetlights.
2,200. So it does not include those lights of Cumberland Electric?
That's correct. We would handle that as a separate project. But the percentage of the streetlights in the city of Hendersonville with Cumberland Electric is just a very small fraction of the NES service area.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of those are in Ward 6, though,
True.
so.
Less than 10%?
Right around 10%.
Okay.
What about lights that citizens have purchased themselves for the street? Will they be converted as well?
Not as part of this project, no. Now, as part of NES's initiative to move everything to LEDs, if the citizen does not request a change to LED, then NES will automatically be doing that over the next 5 years.
So if we did nothing, will NES convert all of our street lights?
They will. The benefit of doing the project now is the immediate cost savings. Because either way, we pay for what they call the plant. So all of the materials will pay one way or the other. So whether we pay it now or we pay it later, you know, what we're going to pay for the materials, but we would get the cost savings now ahead of time if we do it on our own now.
And I see that we're not going to put this out for bid. Can you explain why? And has Lance, city attorney, looked at this? And I want us to make sure that we're all above board on this.
Sure. So it a contract has not been presented to Lance just yet. I'll go ahead and go to the next. I actually had that reference there at the top. So the procurement on this, there's a TCA 12-4-110, and it's specific to energy-related improvements for municipalities. It allows a municipality to select a qualified contractor similar to the way we would select professional services. And PATH specifically is one of the approved contractors for NES. You know, we can't just go out and work on an NES streetlight. You have to use an approved contractor. So they are approved. Matter of fact, they're doing Nashville's project right now. So they would be considered well qualified for this project.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Any other questions,
I have a question.
Jeff?
Just one question. So you mentioned that if we did nothing, that NES would do this on their own. Would they, but we would be responsible for the cost of the materials, is that right?
And labor, we're responsible for all of it.
Okay. all
That's
right.
the
So
way
we
our
do have-
street lighting works through TVA. It's a net zero for NES. So whatever it costs them to do it, they'll recoup
Got
through
it. That
the
was my
city.
question about labor, so thank you.
Yes.
That's all the questions I had.
Yeah.
So if a light goes out, I mean, hopefully LED lights will last forever, you know. But if a light goes out, is it NES's responsibility to repair it, or is it ours?
It would be NES under our regular maintenance agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
Before you do, I'd like to make a motion that, Mr. Chairman, did I interrupt?
Sure.
Did somebody else?
No, you
Okay.
got the floor.
Did anybody? Okay. I want to make a motion to approve this project. I think it's important for our citizenry, as well as me who can't see or sleep well at night anyway. But I do want to do that. But I would like to approve the motion and authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with the company, which is Path, that we're looking at. Well, I guess the best proper would be, way to say it is as the selected contractor for the project. And that would be in accordance with what you, of the Tennessee Code Annotated that you just spoke about, 124101, for that. And, but I do want to make sure that it's subject to the city attorney's looking at it and the conditions that he may or may not have. And that is my motion to approve, but I would like those added into the,
Okay.
I'll second his motion.
We have a second with the additions. Will this go to BOMA?
If you would like it to go to BOMA, it was not expected to go to BOMA as it was funded in the budget.
What's the committee's preference?
I would say just an update at BOMA, but I don't think we need to vote on anything.
Okay.
Agreed.
Maybe in the COO's report,
Yeah.
you could give an update on that of what the committee did.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mayor, please.
Just so you know, any contract agreement, anything close to committing the city, I need to see Lance's initials on the paperwork before I sign it.
Good,
sure.
good.
Thank you for that.
All right. With that understanding, ready to vote, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay.
Okay.
Sarah, next.
I did have a little bit of extra information to share about that, just real quick. This is approximately the NES coverage area, and all of those dots are lights that will be converted. And then this is not in Hendersonville, of course, but this is a glimpse of what a before and after could look like with this conversion. And then so we do have decorative fixtures, and so there's a consideration for what, which fixtures we would go with. Because there are only so many that are approved and so many options. And we had Path coordinate with our planning department and Todd, and our planning department selected those two on the right because they have that black piece on the top, which will help down the light better for like a dark sky. And then they selected the option on the far right, again, because it has that extra shield to cast the light down. So just so everyone knows what to expect with those decorative fixtures, this is what our planning staff opted to move forward with. And so moving along, we have Drake's Creek Stop 30 intersection. I did note on the applicable projects, the number of their ranking in our newly adopted Transportation Capital Improvement Plan as well. So this project was ranked as number 4. And so I think we've gone through a lot of this before. Our estimate has not increased since our January meeting, so we're still looking at overall estimate of $7 million. Now, as we get closer to construction, they will update that estimate once again, so we may see an increase there. But for now, that's where we're at still. I am currently still the project lead on this. We are in the right-of-way phase. Out of our 13 tracks, we have closed 11. So we have 2 outstanding that we're just waiting. They've already signed. We have the agreements. We're just waiting on the mortgage releases for those 2. So we hope to be moving forward pretty soon.
So no eminent domain.
No,
Okay.
no. Everyone has agreed and signed on this project. So
Sarah, what's holding up those 2 mortgage companies? I know we've been waiting on that for a bit.
it's a great question. I don't know exactly. They have been communicating with the closing agent, but they just have not issued those releases to date. There's an option that's they could use to move things forward a little bit more quickly, but it may present some hazard to some. So an option could be to issue a 10-day letter, similar to what you would do if you were looking to move forward with closing or condemnation. So it gives them 10 days to respond, and if they don't respond within that 10 days, you can move forward. But usually our consultant has stated that usually that will move those mortgage lenders and property owner forward more quickly. it's an option, but, you know, it's a 10-day letter, so sometimes can present some.
Is this an 80-20 match?
This is, yes.
Is the estimate for groundbreaking still good?
It experienced a slide of about right around a year because of the right-of-way process just taking longer. It was anticipated it would move forward a little more quickly than it has. But right-of-way is very unpredictable. There are a lot of factors involved with that.
But that's behind us, all but two. And they should be coming shortly. So why another year away before groundbreaking?
So I'm estimating that simply because of the many steps that it takes to get to construction through the local programs process, to include updating the estimate, completing the bid book, having all of those things approved. And then once you update the estimate, if additional funding is needed, you have to go through the GNRC for an amendment if they can put additional funds toward it, and we have to increase our budget. And then once all of those things are complete, then you submit everything once again for review and approval, and then they have to go through the FHWA to receive obligation. So the process is just it's just cumbersome. So it's an estimate. It could go faster than that. But
Yeah. Nothing we can do to speed that up.
we will certainly do everything that we can.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that is second quarter of the calendar year 2026, right? Not the fiscal year?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a two-year project.
I would estimate it to be 2 years.
Yeah.
But they'll finalize that with the bid book, the design consultant, once they're going through all of the coordination and phasing of the project, they'll establish a project timeline.
Okay, we'll be watching that closely and pushing every way we can. If you have problems with the state, you know, this is through TDOT, right?
Yes.
Please let us know and the mayor know so that we can try to maybe get our lobbyists to help push that along. If you see an extraordinary delay
Okay.
on TDOT's part.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a few new neighborhoods coming in, not in the city, but out where Jones Lane is in the annex part of the city. And they're being completed as we speak.
Right.
So I doubt they've heard anything about this meeting since they're in the county. So there's going to be some upset people very soon over in that area, knowing that's really one of the three ways out, but probably one of the easiest ways out
Right.
of that road. So
Yes. Yeah, and once we get closer to construction, I would anticipate, especially with, as you mentioned, the impacts of this project, we would do communications and meetings similar to what we did with Walton Ferry Old Shackle to help prepare people.
okay, I
Yeah.
think it's always a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm
We,
sorry.
we have Mark Evans with Ward 6 and also Karen Dixon, our alderman. And since this is Ward 6, Mark, do you have any questions or comments?
No questions, just concerned about the delay.
Yeah.
And I get it, I understand, but, this is so desperately needed. It's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sit at the travel light and wait 3 different cycles to get through.
All right. Push, 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 right?
We will.
That's the.
We
that's
have
the-
been.
That's the word. Push, push, push. Okay. And you have a. Mark,
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I know you.
no.
No.
No, I was just gonna say, could you talk to us about the, options we have for the aesthetic, with the bridge there, a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So the bridge will be primarily precast, so it could just be regular concrete bridge. But we did ask the consultant to put together some options of what could be selected to make it a little more decorative. And so, yeah, I'll go through those now. So this is an overview of the project I put in there. But so this is one option. And of course, this is our bridge over Drake's Creek on Main Street that was painted recently. So it could be just regular concrete stamped concrete like that, or it could be painted like that. So that would be option number one. Option number two, it could be stamped concrete with some contrast paint. You can see there are some different colors thrown in there. Option three, this is what a lot of the bridges over 40, and then some other local municipalities have some painted options similar to this as well, but they have the state emblem there. And then this is a bridge in Mount Juliet. This bridge that we are constructing does not have pedestrian crossings on it. This is a pedestrian bridge, but it is a TDOT standard that we could install at this location. And then again, that has the state painted emblem and then the MJ symbol throughout as well. So just some decorative options that we could consider. We don't have any price estimates for those now. That is something we could look at if this committee wanted to investigate some of those options.
Generally, what is a stamped option in concrete versus a plain concrete? I mean, there's got to be a number to that, right?
Yeah, I do not have a cost estimate for that. We've never, since I've been here, we haven't had a project like this, so it would take some digging to find that information.
In addition, was this bridge would be state funded or city funded?
This is, it's a city-owned bridge, and it's 80/20, so
Okay.
it's grant funded.
Okay, it's grant funded, so.
Yeah,
So having the state emblem would be okay, too.
it would be,
All right.
yeah.
And the other thing I want to make sure of, because of the Sam's Club bridges, we never do that again. Put glue the stone on the side of the bridge, which continues to fall off every day.
I agree. That was sent as an option that I did not include.
I noticed that. Thank you for not including that. I did notice that.
Yeah, low maintenance to me, I want it to look nice, but low maintenance is the key,
I agree.
you know? So, well, it looks like we've got plenty of time to make that decision.
We do.
So,
I was going to add something to that, I'm sorry. We do, well, what we just voted down in that same general area. If a developer tomorrow started wanting to build houses, so we really don't have that much time. Because those are motivated sellers over there, and whether it's not going to be a convention center or a conference center and a hotel, but there's possibility of 200 homes going in there. So if this is done prior to that, it would be fantastic, because it's going to make it a lot worse if it's not.
I agree. Yes.
That's all I have.
So we talked about a cost to these potential options. What has been, basically, with the existing funding we have, which option does that funding qualify for?
Just regular concrete.
Yeah.
No aesthetic option.
So if we chose an option other than the pressed concrete, we would then need to add additional funding for this, right? And we would have to go to TDOT to get an increase in their funding as well?
It'll go through, so the project runs through TDOT. It's not actually funded by TDOT. It has federal funds associated with it. So it would go through the GNRC to request additional funds. At the same time, when they update the estimate, and the cost most likely will be higher than the last estimate. We haven't seen projects go the other way.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go through that process.
Well,
that
my opinion of this bridge for the board, if we were doing redoing the bridge over 386 on Indian Lake Boulevard, Drake's Creek Road, or whatever you want to call it, I would say, yeah, let's look at these options, because that is a very visible place.
I agree.
But because it's a side street on Stop 30, I'm thinking we just go with the standard. That's just my opinion.
Well, and I don't have an argument against that. I will say this. Whenever we don't go to the next level up, in 20 years, we regret it, because it doesn't have the city aesthetics that we'd like. Now, but if it adds, $1 million to the cost, that argument's irrelevant.
yes.
But I don't know, again, we don't really know what stamping the concrete adds to the cost of just concrete. And maybe that's something we should consider, because if it comes to the board in the budget, it's $1 million, it's unacceptable,
Yeah,
right? But if it's $175,000, it's quite acceptable.
okay.
So, but I'm thinking of 10 or 20 years, because, one of the signs that we have going into Veterans Park from 386 is brick. and all the other signs in the city are stone. And that was done from cost effectiveness, and it doesn't fit the city vibe. It's not an ugly sign, it just doesn't fit the vibe that the city's created with the Welcome to Hendersonville sign, the City Hall sign. So that was done on a cost basis, so I want to be careful that, you know, but again, if it's $1 million, conversation over.
Yeah.
Are there any options that you would prefer that we focus on specifically, that you prefer more than some of the others?
Well, personally,
investigate?
Personally, I'm the stamped color guy, right? But I'm just stamped in the beginning before that,
Okay,
because it matches Main Street. And if 200 houses go in there, it's not going to be much of a side street anymore. It's going to be pretty major. And the county's coming in too from that new neighborhood.
Right, and as this area also builds our parks, you know, with the Durham parks and the rugby, that road is traversed a lot. I mean, I think TDOT said 10,000 a day. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that now. So, I would like to see, like Alderman Garza, the stamped concrete. I think that's the less maintenance and maybe the more cheaper of the versions that we've got. So
Okay.
when you need to know that, so when you start writing the bid, is that right?
yes.
Now, when the bid comes back, do we have the ability to change the bid to lower the cost? Or are we pretty much locked in at that time?
Through TDOT, we wouldn't be able to accept the bid and negotiate it once we received it. We would have to adjust and then rebid the project.
Okay. All right. So do we have a motion?
Yeah, I was gonna make a motion, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know if this is improper or not, but if it is, I mean, if it isn't, just tell me I'm out of order, it's
As
okay
long
with
as it's not
me.
illegal.
Yeah, just say it. You're out of order, Skidmore. That's okay. But I would like to make a motion, Chairman, to proceed with this project and also with the bridge aesthetic option number, is it 2 or 1? I can't. 1, yes. Oh, yeah, 1.
Plain stamp.
With option, yeah, the plain stamped concrete. I think that would be appropriate.
I'll second
You
your
have a
motion.
second? Okay, discussion?
Yeah, if we're looking to choose one of the options, this would be my preferred option. And,
I can live with that,
and then
too.
we can look at
Right.
if that is feasible or not, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. All those in favor of the motion of Vice Chairman Skidmore, say aye.
Aye.
No? All those opposed? It passes unanimously. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Next item.
Okay. Next, we have Cherokee Road Culvert. This would be a preliminary portion of number 13 on our new transportation improvement plan. So this project is one that was funded for design through the ARPA WIP funds. And so this is the culvert, and I'll show an aerial in just a moment, but it's near Hendersonville High School. It's very close to where that pedestrian crossing is on Cherokee Road. And the culvert needs to be upsized. And so we do have the design for that now. And so we are looking to move toward starting the acquisition process on this project. The current estimate for everything, including the design, is $850,000. So that would be, of course, a capital project. We do have this in our list for this year, in our drainage list. So, of course, this is a significant amount of money, but it is a priority as well. Todd Bond would be the staff lead on this project. We are in right-of-way. The construction portion, right-of-way and construction, is 100% funded by the city, would be. We don't have any grant funds associated with those phases. The bid letting would be estimated for 2027, just giving ourselves 2 years for right-of-way in case it takes that long. It's unpredictable. We would assume it to go much quicker than that, but that's what we estimate. And then we would estimate no more than a year completion for this project. And now I'll go through some of what this project would entail as well. So this is the street view currently. So the actual box culvert that's there is just a little bit closer to you than the crosswalk in the picture. And so this is just a stream view looking over the side there. And so this is the current box culvert. It's 48 feet wide. And why we would count this as a preliminary portion for the number 13 project that's ranked for Cherokee Road is because this project would widen it to 58 feet, which would allow us to have additional capacity there in our roadway. We could add another lane there for improvements, but this significantly upsizes the culvert as well to pass the 100-year storm event. So,
The additional lane's not included in this price, though.
no, not in this price,
Okay.
no. But this gets us what we need for
No.
for another project.
Now, is this going to be funded through our stormwater budget?
Yes,
Okay,
that's correct.
thank you.
And so, just an overview, these are the different areas for easements that would be needed for this project. A lot, that large orange area there on the left, that is almost all in the stream. We don't have a drainage easement on that side, which is somewhat unusual, but, so we would need that easement to be on that side. And then, the orange are temporary construction easements. The green, those would be permanent easements that we would need to obtain for maintenance there long-term as well.
Is the green on the high school property?
Yes. Yes. And then some of it is, I think it's Ellis. Nanny Berry, sorry, Nanny Berry. Yeah. And so then it's just the aerial, it's not super helpful, really. I think the street views are more helpful with this one, but,
It would have been better in the fall.
Yeah.
So,
The seeds are gone.
yeah, that's true.
so Sarah, the right-of-ways are mainly schools?
I think mostly, yes.
So we won't hire a consultant to do the right-of-way acquisition.
We would coordinate with the school first on that portion. On the other portions needed for the project, we likely would need to go through. But we would do early coordination with these property owners as city staff before proceeding with any of that, in case someone wanted to donate the land or the easement.
How many properties are included in the green portion of the easement?
Two.
And both of them are summer schools, or?
Yeah. So both schools.
Okay.
You're not anticipating, excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. You're not anticipating any any brushback from the two schools, are you, on this? I mean, that's such a,
Yeah,
that would be a benefit to them as well as us, you know?
I agree. We're not anticipating anything.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think that, they would. You know, as far as, if I was that school, I'd say, here, I'll give you the land to fix that,
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens down the road.
yes.
All right, thank you, Chairman.
Okay, any other questions?
Just one, but not related to this project, but kind of. You said this is for the 100-year flood kind of thing. How many parts of the city have that same issue?
Well, of course, Drake's Creek Stop 30.
Yes.
That one
We're
definitely
working
has
on
an
that.
issue. I'm not aware of, I don't think I'm explicitly aware of another bridge that does not pass the 100-year storm
Okay.
event. But we are moving toward a more proactive approach to assessing these as well, moving toward watershed plans, to make sure that we are addressing issues where they are and providing that conveyance where needed.
Once again, as our city continues to grow, we got to get ahead of these things
Yes.
before they become a bigger problem. So thank you for all the work you guys do there.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, I'd like to make a motion when everybody's through speaking. I don't know if you,
I think it's
are you
appropriate.
sure? Okay.
I think you're up, Mr.
Are you,
Skidmore.
are you all ready for it?
think you're up.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion, I'm putting a lot of work on you there, Mayor, to authorize the mayor to execute the contract and begin the right-of-way acquisition for this project and the process for the project as well, and authorize the staff to coordinate discussions. I think that's very important with the property owners prior, this is key to me, prior to the submission of the appraisal offers. I think that's important for y'all to get everybody together with the project.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's my motion.
That's
I'll
a
second his
good motion, okay. Good. We have a second discussion. Mayor?
Just to back up what Sarah said about working with the school system. We complete a project with school system at Ellis. We're working on one here at Burris. So we're used to working with them. We have a good relationship with them.
Good.
So I feel confident that we'll be able to get what we need.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Be interested to hear more about the Burris situation that
I
you
said we're
want.
working.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so we have a motion and a second. My only discussion on this, since it's federal money, don't we have to spend it by a certain date?
The only portion that was federally funded was design,
Okay,
Oh,
so,
okay.
the 45,000.
that's right,
Okay,
yes.
okay. All right, so we have a motion and second. Ready to vote? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item.
All right. Now we have exit 8. Excuse me, it's number 7 on our transportation capital improvement plan. The estimate has not changed since we last met at roughly $35.5 million. Again, this project has been added to TDOT's 10-year plan. And so our portion at this time is estimated at roughly $4.9 million, which is what we have budgeted currently. I am the project lead on this. We are currently in right-of-way. However, we had received notice to proceed for right-of-way, but we are not actively acquiring right-of-way because once there were federal funds associated with this project, we had to go back to NEPA and change our environmental document. So we had an approved tier is what it's called, and that's for state funds, but it does not apply to the use of federal funds. So there's a separate environmental process for that. So we are working through that process now. We believe in the next 3 months or so, we will likely have our NEPA approval and then can hopefully get back to the right-of-way process on this project. This is a city project, again. The estimated bid letting date is 2030. The timing of that is associated with TDOT's 10-year plan. That's when they're showing this project eligible for funding for construction. It is possible that if we are able to proceed much faster on this project and if some of their other projects are not moving forward on their schedule, they may move that timeline up. But currently, it's funded for right-of-way in 2028 and funded for construction in 2030. So, and then we would estimate this to be a 36-month timeline. So we think this would be done by 2033.
The only, I'm sorry. The only comment I have is obviously everybody wants it sooner. And that's one of the biggest changes in original estimates and current estimates I've seen ever, except for maybe New Shackle. This is a tunnel for most people who don't know. And above that tunnel will be a bridge.
Yes.
And I'd like for the bridges to match so that there's consistency in the city. I don't know if there's anything in the design work about that, but if it's going to look like the one at Memorial Park, which has just been painted, or maybe the new one is going to be over at Stop 30, I think there should be consistency in design. Just a thought.
So that will be a little more challenging
'Cause it's
because this is CSX.
Oh,
It's for the railroad, and they dictate the bridge construction and design and materials, and it's very unlikely that they will allow us any aesthetic freedom. We can ask the question to see what our options may be.
that's a good
but
answer.
They'd be pretty limited, probably.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not exactly moving forward.
No, they tell us what to do.
Okay.
Is it the city portion of almost $5 million? That's for right-of-way acquisition, isn't it?
Yes, that's what we've estimated for right-of-way.
So we won't need any federal money for right-of-way acquisition. Right?
It's an interesting question. It depends. So this is just an estimate. There's no good calculator for right-of-way until you get appraisals. and we don't have appraisals yet. This is what we have budgeted. You know, if we have paid for right-of-way out of our local coffers, it is possible that TDOT will advance the project timeline, as I said, but if right-of-way comes in at 6 million and we are not going to fund that, we would likely need to wait.
Yeah, my concern is the cost of land goes up every year. And the quicker we can go ahead and lock down the right-of-way, the cheaper it will be for the city, especially if we have to pay for the right-of-way acquisition cost. So
Yeah,
we need to keep that in mind.
yes, sir.
Okay, other questions, comments? This was just for information, right? No
Yes.
action needed.
No action needed. And then I did just provide that exhibit again, just for those who aren't familiar with the new alignment.
I don't know. I hope so. Let the city say.
Okay,
All right. We have our signal synchronization phase 2, often referred to as light synchronization. This project, well, I failed to update that estimate. I apologize. The estimate did go up. And so we went to TDOT because this is funded with CMAQ funds through TDOT. And they said that they could put the additional funds, approximately $200,000, toward this project. So we went through GNRC, and they have approved an amendment, and that's being formalized now. And then once the amendment's formalized, the CMAQ office will put the funds toward the project, and then we can request obligation and notice to proceed to construction. So there is still a little bit of a process left here. Those timelines will slide from what's shown there. Obviously, we're not in first quarter 2025. So we would anticipate fourth quarter 2025 for bid letting, and then an estimated groundbreaking probably 2 months later. There's a process there to gain concurrence on those bids, and then the estimated completion would be roughly a year after that. And no action needed, but we are getting very close on this project, and it was very good news that CMAQ office decided to put additional funds toward this, as those are at 100%.
yeah, save the city $200,000.
Yes.
Good job, Sarah.
Hey,
And just,
hey, I had something to do with it.
and the mayor, yes, of course. And just to let everyone know, the Public Works Committee gets a report on this every meeting.
Yes, we do.
So we're,
Yeah.
Chairman Skidmore's committee is on top of this like a June bug on whatever. But,
I don't know, whatever you want to say. That's
Yeah.
all right. We're on it.
we're on it, okay. Any questions? No action needed here, right?
No, I do have some reminders as we are getting closer to construction, that this project will provide for 31 intersections, new radar detection and fisheye video detection. So that really is going to help us to optimize our signal timing. And then just construction impacts, we would see cruiser cabinets and in bucket trucks, possible shoulder closures, temporary shoulder closures, and then, of course, that 12-month timeline from notice to proceed. So just to help set some expectations. And then again, this is all working toward our signal timing optimization, coordination throughout the city. And so the major streets, so in this, in the city, it would be Main Street, New Shackle, and Indian Lake Boulevard would receive the priority. And then those side streets would wait a little bit longer. But once you get on the main line, you get to pretty much breeze through the city, which is really a wonderful improvement.
You almost can now, though.
We almost can now, yes.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to take me to
Oh, it's
45
a-
minutes to get here.
Yeah,
from,
man.
From New Shackle Island, now I get here
Yeah.
at 12.
It is, there have been a lot of improvements made. Our new traffic engineer has done an excellent job optimizing what we have.
Yeah, I met him the other day. The only complaint I've had was from a crossing guard who actually said, I have to stand there a lot longer than I used to on the side streets.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's a good thing, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry. Can we go back to the rainbow chart, the rainbow table there?
Sure.
Yeah, it says estimate completion first quarter 2026. I'm assuming that's going to be bumped.
Yeah, there's about a year slide on that
Okay, so we're looking probably more like 2027?
for completion, yes.
That's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, next project.
All right, we have our West Main Street ADA improvements. This project is funded through the Multimodal Accessibility Grant, so it's state funds. It's funded at 95.5, so the city's only responsible for 5%. There is a cap on this particular funding opportunity of $1 million. So as you can see, we're just right under there at 993,000 roughly. And then our portion's right around 50,000. I am the project lead for this. We are currently just beginning the right-of-way acquisition process. Originally, this project was going to improve ADA access from Sanders Ferry to Executive on both sides of Main Street the whole way. When we were going through design, it was found that there was quite a bit of right-of-way easements that would be needed that were not originally identified through the early conceptual design process. And so in looking at that, the right-of-way was actually going to use up most of the available funding for the project at roughly $600-something thousand. And so we went through the process to revise the scope a little bit. So instead of doing all of the ADA access between those 2 points, we're looking at the major intersection access. So we would be looking at those curb ramps and pedestrian signals to provide safer access at our major intersections. And so the cost did go down, as you can see, just a little bit, but that's including all of that right-of-way cost. Because there are so many properties along West Main Street, and we have to do appraisals for each one of those and go through that process.
When someone builds or remodels, though, they're required to put that in, are they not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. We do get updated access when someone renovates, remodels.
Because the new Marathon gas station did that too.
That's correct. Yes.
So Sarah, are we taking advantage of all federal and state grants for ADA compliance?
We have definitely applied for many opportunities, so I would say yes.
And isn't the parks grant that we just received, isn't some of that for ADA compliance? Parking lots and stuff for ADA, do we know?
Jesse's nodding his head yes, so.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure that we're taking advantage of all the grants for ADA. And this discussion shows that we are, but I wanted to ask that question for the record. So,
Yes.
okay. Any other discussions on that? Okay, not next.
Okay, so we have our Maple Road Boulevard stormwater improvements, which we discussed last time. This project is funded for construction through the ARPA WIP program, so this does have federal funds just for the construction phase. We did just issue the notice to proceed for construction with the contractor, so there's some early utility relocation work happening. And again, this is Maple Road Boulevard, so this is just a little bit south of the Kroger, kind of through that curve there. And it will provide new stormwater infrastructure in our right-of-way to include catch basins and those pipe connections to manage the stormwater more efficiently through that area. So we have broke ground, and we would anticipate, based on the timeline from the contractor, this project would wrap up around January of 26. That's the wrong year, 26.
Because I thought it was done already.
Yeah,
It's
it's
done,
done. It was finished before we started. We're so efficient. Yes, so, sorry about that, 2026. So there's no action item needed, but just an update that this is in the works now, and we'll see this completed in the near future.
A lot of construction going on over there on both sides of Main Street,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
this will help, okay? Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, next.
All right, now we are on to our Transportation Capital Improvement Plan implementation. So we have, this is our ranking list that was approved as part of the plan. And so the green arrow does show a project that has already been completed, so number 1 is done. The black check marks, they are showing projects that are already in the works through our, our major grant projects. And then all of those that are maroon colored are showing the projects that we are implementing this year. And some of those, again, like the Cherokee Drive culvert, that's like an early planning phase for number 13. And then I'll go through the rest as well to kind of detail those. So if you remember from our plan, these were the areas of congestion, major congestion on West Main Street, Indian Lake Boulevard through Drake's Creek, and then in New Shackle are kind of the main areas that we're going to focus on right now. And so these are the projects that have been identified for the funding that was appropriated as part of fiscal year 26. Number 2 project, our West Main Street access management, and I'll kind of go through these a little bit more as well. Then we have number 5, which is our Indian Lake School Zone improvements. And then we have put together number 9, 11, and 12, and that's New Shackle at 386 and north to stop 30, including the intersection at stop 30 as well. Just for conceptual preliminary design, it makes sense to look at those all as one.
Go over that again.
That's New Shackle Island Road from 386 intersections north to stop 30.
Through
And it-
Glenbrook. Is that through Glenbrook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Through Glenbrook.
Okay.
And then north to stop 30, and including the intersection.
Now, do we have to get state approval of that? I mean, that's a state road, New Shackle, right?
Yes, there will be TDOT coordination required, for
And
sure.
what, are we going to expand the lanes or,
We would be looking at widening, yes, sir.
okay.
Yes,
And
improved
it would-
capacity.
The widening would go all the way up to stop 30?
That's what we would be looking at, yes. Yeah.
So we're going to have to get the state involved in that?
I would anticipate the need for that, and we did, this does coincide pretty well with, GNRC is redoing the RTP, the Regional Transportation Plan, and the TIP. They'll be updating the Transportation Improvement Plan, and so they're looking at those projects now. We have submitted all of these projects.
Okay.
So we're hopeful that we will receive funding through that process, and then, of course, whatever we don't, we'll be seeking coordination with TDOT.
Are you on that committee, Mayor?
I am. Well, we have actually, so Sarah's on the Transportation Policy Committee? Yeah. So they would rank all these before they go into the long-term transportation plan. Then they come to us at that point. So, yeah, this is very reasonable, and it's also not as expensive as some other items.
We have number 10 is our Stop 30 Drake's Creek Improvements Phase 2, which is looking at Stop 30 Road. And then we have number 14 listed, which is Dayflower Drive improvements, and that's addition of a right turn lane on Saundersville Road. And then number 16 in that same area is Innsbrook and Saundersville intersection improvements. And we've considered both of those specifically because we do have some funding from developer contributions already for spot improvements. And then, of course, we do also receive additional contributions for those subdivisions that are building out. So, and we also have conceptual designs for those, which we'll go through as well.
So all these with the red check, we have gone to GNRC to try to get funding for, is that right?
We've submitted all of the projects to GNRC with different priorities. So those with the red checks were identified as high priority for us.
So how much money was in the budget for capital projects with the PIP and also with other capital project funding?
For the transportation improvement plan?
Yes, for the transportation improvement plan.
$3 million.
$3 million. And what do we plan to spend that $3 million on?
The bulk of this is going to be preliminary design. Some of it will be right-of-way, and then we would hope to be able to construct the right turn lane at Dayflower and potentially make an improvement to Stop 30 to prepare for a widening project, which would include, there's a hill there that has a advisory speed on it, and it would be a correction of that, of a vertical curve is what it's called.
Because we're just now paving that road.
We are, yeah, but there is design needed. And the decision was made to go ahead and pave it because of the very poor condition that the roadway was in.
Well, and as long as it takes to get done, that probably makes sense. Okay. Okay, any questions regarding the implementation of the transportation plan.
I can go through a little bit more of the project information, if anyone would like to see, or if you recall those projects and don't have questions, that's good too.
So will 3 million be able to come up with designs on all of these red checks?
I would anticipate that it's hard to predict exactly. Once they dig in, there could be some amendments, but I would anticipate that to provide preliminary design and design for those.
Okay. Do we hope to start, well, you said was it Dayflower, is that what it was? I
Yes.
can't read this. Dayflower, you hope to start that this fiscal year, correct?
I do. We have a conceptual design on those two as well, and actually, I would like to highlight those. So this is, of course, Dayflower of Saundersville, but so this is the conceptual design, and it's maybe a little bit difficult to see, but there it shows the right turn lane on Saundersville going into Dayflower, kind of on the right side of that there. And then at Innsbrook and Saundersville Road, the conceptual design that was presented that we would request a traffic study on was to construct a roundabout at that intersection. Originally with the development probably 15, 20 years ago with Millstone, it was proposed to put a traffic signal there. But in looking at a little bit more to preserve the character of the area and to maximize the flow through the area, they have, the consultant proposed a roundabout there. And the way that they're showing it, it would require some right-of-way, but most of it is just the HOA property, the entrance of the HOA properties. And the way they're showing it, so it's 2 lanes coming into it. So 1 lane would be going around the roundabout, but there would be a right bypass into the subdivisions to kind of maximize that flow through the area. Again, we would have a traffic study to confirm the operation of this, but that was what was proposed conceptually.
How many vehicles a day are they dealing with here?
That is a great question. I believe it's,
We won't hold you to it.
yeah, I believe it's pretty similar to Drake's Creek. I want to say it's right around 10,000.
Okay.
It's
It's a
not,
serious number.
it is. It's quite a bit of volume through there.
A lot of school buses go down through there, don't they, to
They would, yes.
station camp?
I am one of those people on this project, on this committee that actually likes roundabouts. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying we hear more negatives about roundabouts because people drive over them or turn left onto them. But if you look at consensus of other cities, there's one in Indiana, Carmel, something. They've pretty much converted their entire city to roundabouts, and the money they're saving and the gas they're saving is unbelievably. It's like going to LED lighting.
Yes.
So when it's possible, without going into the eminent domain world, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, impact fees, voluntary impact fees. Some of these developments are paying those voluntary impact fees now, correct?
That's correct.
And Forest Park, which, is it getting ready to start?
I believe they are getting ready
They're
to
gonna
start.
be paying $3,500 per, so can we use those funds for this project?
We could appropriate funds that have been paid in this area, yes.
So I'd like for us to make sure and use those funds so that we can spend those funds elsewhere, you know, if they're available. So
Okay.
I hope the staff will look at using those voluntary impact fees that are being paid for helping to fund this project.
Okay.
Nice.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We look forward to seeing some shovels in the ground.
I agree.
Yeah, okay, good. Let's see, okay, we're in other business. You have anything else, Sarah, that you need to bring before the committee today?
That's all I
Any
have.
other action that we need to take? Any other motions that we need to pass?
No,
Have we
sir.
satisfied you?
Yes, sir.
That's what.
Thank you.
That's my goal. Okay, we have other business, and Alderman Sassy has requested a discussion on a couple of items. So I don't know what staff or mayor wants to lead that discussion. We're looking at impact fees and the facility assessment. So is that the mayor or is that Jesse?
I'm not really prepared for it. Jesse, do you want to?
Okay. So facilities assessment is underway. Probably this month or next month, we'll have a draft that'll come before a committee. So we've already been working on that. We're trying to make it look good too, so our public information team is kind of sprucing that up. So that should be coming pretty soon. As far as impact fees go, we have been working on those. We've done quite a bit of legal research on that, so we have a lot of the questions answered. And we are probably weeks away from announcing a workshop on development impact fees. So we've gotten a lot of traction, and we've really kind of developed a credit system. So if someone comes in, developer comes in, and they want to go ahead and build the infrastructure, we're putting together a program where they can get credits for that. So a way that we can really encourage the improvement being built rather than just collecting money, because the goal for impact fees is to build infrastructure. So we're trying to think about ways where we can get that built and not just collect money that sits in a pot year over year. So trying to be methodical about it, but we should have something, we should have a date for another workshop probably within a few weeks.
Comments? Questions?
I like the attitude of credits to a developer, because it would still be the design of the city, rather than putting it in a pot and worrying about it later. We all know every time you wait a little bit longer, the costs go up.
Yes, I was at a city where we did development impact fees, and we had several buckets. We probably had 6 or 7 buckets of these development impact fees that came in. And when a developer came in or someone built a home, it got split up into so many different buckets that you just got a little bit of money in each bucket. And we never collected enough money to actually do a project. As we see, when we wait a year, the project costs go up and up and up. So by the time we collect more money, the project costs have gone up. So the idea of collecting money is not, I think, as advantageous or useful to a city as actually building the project. And when you start slicing and dicing development impact fees over 4, 5, 6, 7 categories, you just don't gain a lot of traction, especially when the economy slows, because you might have a good year and then the economy might slow and you don't have a lot of development and you don't collect in those funds.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I'll have more to say at the workshop, but I was hoping that we would just waive impact fees for businesses. Businesses pay a higher property tax. Businesses also pay for off-site improvements. Look at what Costco paid for off-site improvements there. So I don't know if it would be legally acceptable, but I would like for the impact fees to just hit residential and go to just limited areas of investment. But that'll be a topic that I'll bring up at the workshop and explore that further. Okay, any comments on Jeff? Is that got you?
That satisfied me, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before the committee today? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, got a motion and second by
Second.
Alderman Sassy. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.
Good job, Eddie.